2004, Green Day, Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Great sing-along tune. So all we're going to talk about today with this, very shortly, all you need to do is strum the chords. Now, it goes a little fast for a strum that I usually like to use for slower songs. So a great way to do this, there's heavy accents usually on the first beat of the measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So down, rest, down, down, up would be a strum you could use for this. Now again, we usually use that in slower songs, but here's a song that is driving. This thing is cooking. So if you do that slowly, we have something that sounds like Comfortably Numb or Little Wing. But if I now just put a little energy into it, especially if I put in something like a second beat, little slight pound on the bass. Now slowly what that is, I'm still hitting a big accent on beat 1. Pound that thing. But then on beat 2, just a light tap on the lowest strings available in the chord. So on the E minors and the Ds, that's really easy. But on the Ds, you want to aim in the middle of the strings. You don't want to hit this. So on the D, shoot for the middle, and for A, shoot for the 5th string area. But a little slower, what I'm doing there. Now, sometimes you'll change chords. The chord progression is right there on the sheet. E minor, G, D, A for the first part of the song. And that happens 3 or 4 times depending on the verse and just depending on how you want to ramble on with the words. So it's a song with a lot of built-in flexibility. But so now I could dress it up a little bit by having a little bit more strokes hit on maybe the G chord. Or the A. So you could syncopate it a little bit and just have a few more strokes in there. But that's sometimes beyond the scope of what we're talking about with the campfire version. So you could just do this with one strum all the way through. And the important thing about the strum in the verse, big accent on the first beat and almost nothing on the second beat. Now in the chorus, we want to do something a little different. It's a little steadier. What I'm doing there is, now we do want to hear the second beat. Again, just for a little variety, it doesn't even really matter. But, so I'm going to C, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and. So a little steadier pounding of the downs in the chorus can add a lot to it. Great tune for simple chords. We've got chords all in the key of E minor. It goes from E minor to G to D, but then it goes to A major. Now, that's a chord not really in the key, it's in the key of E, the melodic minor version of E. But what that does, of E minor, what the A major chord does there is gives a little bit of a sound of the kind of thing you'd have if the song were in the Dorian mode. So, going to that A major gives it just a little twisted sound that makes it not as solid, not as dark as a straight minor key. So it's a hint at the Dorian mode. And then the chorus is right back to the key of straight E minor, because now we use C, G, D, and then back on E minor. But the one thing that makes, again, the key of E minor different than the key of G major, which is its relative major partner, is chord 5 in the key of E minor is going to be a dominant chord, meaning a major chord, possibly even a 7 chord, that would not be the same as the chord that we're in the key of G. Now, I didn't mean to turn this into a theory discussion. Sorry, I'm trying to... I can't help myself sometimes. To make a long story short, in a minor key, chord 5, that would be a real minor chord if we were just following the key signature, is usually altered to be a major chord or a 7 chord to give a more dominant sound. Enough said. That means that the B chord that is going to be in this key, in the key of E minor, is going to be B major. So I'm going to play that B major with the double bar, the bar at the 2nd fret with my index finger and my 3rd finger flattened out across the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. This is an A shape of a bar chord. Hopefully you can find some of the other lessons that I have all over here that talk about the theory of bar chords and stuff like that. Now, You could even simplify this a little bit by playing a B7 chord there, which is one of the few members of the B family that can be played not as a bar. So you can use B7 at the spot I have B in there. So again, now the chorus, the chord progression of the chorus: C, G, D, E minor. Second time, basically, as following good form for songwriting, there's four phrases here. Each one is 4 measures long. And the fourth one, which is where I am now, goes from C to G, and now here comes our dominant, B. And that sets us up really well to return back to the big old strong E minor foundation of this song. So, fun song to sing. You can throw in the ahs part and stuff, and just, again, get your friends together, make sure they all play these chords. You can play a ton of Neil Young songs with these chords too. It's almost the same song as Heart of Gold, well, just different rhythm and all that kind of stuff. But, if you play this along with the album, you may notice that we're not in tune. Did you notice that? They have a capo to the 1st fret. So they're really in the key of F minor, but they do it with a capo at the 1st fret. Now, you don't have to. You can play the chords at the 1st fret if you want. This is a pain. Don't even go there. Put your capo at the 1st fret if that's the best key for you to sing it in. That's why they would have done this, okay? They could have had the guitar tuned down a half step and capo to the 2nd. Whatever it is, they wanted to sing it in the key of F minor. Around the campfire, you got 6 guitars. If you don't have 6 capos, just play it in E minor. The key doesn't matter. The chord shapes will sound the same, and they're all basically the same. So, okay, that should be all the info you need to have a nice fun playthrough for if I knew the name of the song, Boulevard of Broken Dreams.